What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? I am sorry for the audio issues, and I'm gonna be honest, I still haven't actually figured it all out. So hopefully you guys can hear me okay. I have no way to actually hear whether you guys can hear me. So let me know in the stream. Said no music. Yep, sorry. There's probably gonna be some issues tonight with the audio. We're gonna fix that after the stream, but hopefully at least you can hear me. So you can hear me. That's good. We'll do without the music. I'm gonna go ahead and bring up my man FD White. Let's get it. What's up, dude?
I'm a dance to the imaginary music.
Yeah, I know, man. I know. It sucks. I can hear it. I heard the music in the background. It is what it is. You guys can just watch me dance. So that being said, man, we got all kinds of news going on. You guys are gonna have to work with me a little bit because I had to reboot my whole system. So I will be kind of progressively opening pages as we go along today. But I am gonna do my best to make it as streamlined as possible. One thing I will have to do is get FD's screen up real quick here. So if you could pull that up for me, I'm going to pull that over into the stream and then we'll get this party started. Piper with this Ecamm stuff. Get out of here, man. It's actually not Ecamm. It's the audio driver in my computer. It is not picking up the two channels that I'm sending to it right now. So not really sure what's going on there, Pipe, but it's definitely not an Ecamm thing. All right, copy to the clipboard. You guys will have to watch me do some work here in the background real quick, but we are gonna do this
So
here.
I'm a little sick. I'm a little sick today, man. I'm losing my
Oh, you.
voice, man. So
Oh,
yeah, man. So I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do any charting, but we could definitely get some quick conversations in, man. You have to take the lead today. I
okay,
sound like
I got you.
Foghorn Leg. Or what's the one guy name?
Who's that? Who's
But
that?
yeah, man. I can't remember the guy's name. It was like a character back in the '90s, man. He had like wild hair. He had like the hoarse voice. I can't remember his name, but that's who I sound like tonight. But we'll get through,
Yeah,
man. I gotta come for the alumni for the academy, man.
not ringing a bell. All right. Well, I hope you feel better, man. It's been going around for sure. My kiddos were sick. I think I was sick probably a couple weeks ago. You guys probably remember that. I was like dying on stream one time. Um, Real quick, I'm gonna go over to here, and then I'm gonna pop this in real quick. Your screen. Make sure that pops up. You guys get to watch me do the work in the background here, and then boom. All right,
I can shout some
there
people
it
out,
is.
man. Oh, there we go. Let's see what
Yeah.
we got in the chat, man. Caffeinated crypto Billy. What's up, Goat? Book. We got who else? Mike Play. We got Alexandra G, the best mod in the house, of course. BC Port Corp. Make sure you go check out their stream. I think it's at 7 a.m., right? Every morning, Monday through Friday. I think it's 7
Bro,
a.m. or 7:30 a.m.
I catch it at
I'm
like
just
4 o'clock my time. So like I'm
oh,
taking a
so you
break
catch
on my
me for like a
shift.
recording, yeah.
Yeah. So it's crazy early.
Yeah, they got a lot of alpha, man. A lot of good TA over there as well. LBC, Lunar Beaches Crypto, he's over there too, for that morning show, him and BC Port Corp, Blackie Chan. So make sure you go over there and check them out. Mark Dutch, he always has some good comedy in the chat, man. Make sure you read his chats. He got just stream from your car again. At least the sound was good there. He always get me on my mic. My mic, man. Hopefully we got the mic issues worked out, but now you got to deal with my voice tonight, man. So who else we got in the chat? Army Piper, Indie Rock Crypto, my fellow Michigander, man. What's up, man? Let's see, did we miss anybody? Buck, I think we said Buck was correct, but we already said Buck was here. Mark, love the new technology. I'll send you a fax with the see. He always got the jokes in the chat, man. Shout out to Mark Dutch, man. So we're a little late, man. So let's hop into it and see what's going on. We got a lot to talk about today, tomorrow, Wednesday, all week, man. So it's gonna be jam packed this week. So let's get it started.
Sounds good, my guy. I'm getting it all set up here in the background. And the first thing we got up, let's go ahead and get to our headlines. And of course, because I did a reset, I need to now go in and update this. Give me 1 second here. Guys, like I said, you'll have to work with me a little bit. There it
So
is.
Piper,
Boom.
I got some ginseng tea, man. I'm sipping on. So hopefully I should be good for the trade show tomorrow. So if you guys haven't watched the trade show with me and Piper, make sure you tune in Tuesdays and Thursdays so far. We might have to ramp it up if the market ramps up. But Tuesdays and Thursdays, 4 p.m. So make sure you tune in. Back to you.
Back to you. All right. So, first up, we got Elizabeth Warren, our favorite person in crypto, is calling for a 0.75% interest rate cut by the Fed. All right. So, we have now started moving from what we thought was locked in at a 0.25. Now we're hearing 0.5. That has shot up. I think I was reading the percentages for a 0.5 now are up over 50%. That happened in a matter of hours. And now Elizabeth Warren is actually calling for a 0.75%. So let's go ahead and look at our next piece of news here. And the interesting part about it is that BlackRock is almost contradicting a little bit what we're seeing right now, the calls from Elizabeth Warren and what we're hearing through the media. Like I said, 0.5% seems to be what people have kind of baked in or expecting at this point. Is I won't say baked in, but I'll say what we're expecting at this point. And BlackRock comes in and says, nah, it's not actually going to be as crazy as you think it is. So that's very, very interesting. And so who do you listen to here? Do you listen to the person that's just calling for it, or do you listen to the money that says, yeah, it's all good here. It's probably going to be what you're thinking. And I think it's going to be a 0.25 because Jerome Powell has shown us the trend of like, I don't want to make a massive move to essentially shock the economy or the market. So FD, what do you think about that, man? I know voice is it's hurting, but I want to hear what you got to say.
So I mean, if you want to go to my chart really quick, I mean my screen really quick, I do have the Fed Watch tool up. So right now, 50 basis points is 62%. So a couple of days ago it was like 20%, it was like 15, it was like 10, and it went back down, then went back up. Now it's at 62%. So I think the closer we get to Wednesday, that number is going to go up unless we get some type of signal or some type of Fed speech. But I don't think they're coming out talking this week. So the 25 basis points is 38. So I was I said 25, but now, I don't Jerome Powell doesn't like to shock the markets though. Like that's the thing. Like we always say that that Jerome Powell moves the markets, but sometimes the markets, move to what decision that the decision that they choose. So I don't know. I think, last week I just tweeted this. I said last week if we were talking about a point 0.5 50 basis point hike, the markets was going to crash. Now if we get a 25 basis point hike, the market's probably gonna go down. So it's just, man, you know, who knows, man? Who knows? Just we'll talk about it Wednesday about 3:15 p.m. once everything comes out. He has a speech, I think, at 2:30, and then around 3:30 we should have some sort of clarity onto what's going on because the next rate hike is not until November. So if they're baking that in, like, okay, we got to skip October, so maybe we need to do 25, and then October would be 25 if they had to do one. So maybe they might just do the 50. I'm not sure, man. I'm really not sure right now. So I'm not even sure how the markets are going to move. So I'm not going to trade it. I'm gonna let the trend settle, and then I'll ride the trend.
Yeah, so kind of let the volatility play out. You're seeing right now, I think the uncertainty right now with all this, like people are calling for 0.75. We've heard 1.25, as high as 1.25, Citibank, right? And, we're kind of expecting a 0.25 here, on this channel, or at least me and you specifically. And so there seems to be a lot of indecision in the market, which I think is going to create volatility, and why you're actually probably seeing a little bit of a pullback leading into this decision is because smart money, a lot of times, they'll be like, okay, cool. We'll just sit back and wait, and we'll see what the outcome of the decision is, and then we'll get back in. Whether it's going to be, are we going to play it long, or whether we're going to play it short, based on the outcome. So why be exposed to all of the volatility when you can just sit back and wait? So I kind of think that's a little part of it, but yeah, could be wrong. It's speculation, of course. But let's go ahead. Let's bring on Elmer and sound the siren here because you know what's coming. And so I have no idea if you guys were able to hear that audio or not. Hopefully you did. If not, is what it is. You got to see the siren. So market's going to be watching to see if the Fed can avoid a recession in 2025. Historically speaking, the S&P 500 returns a positive 15% within a year of the first rate cut if there's no recession. All right. So what are we hearing right now leading into this decision? We're hearing the old R word, right? A lot of people are talking about a recession and a pullback in the economy leading into this decision. But that being said, if there is a recession within the first 12 months, you can expect quite a substantial pullback on the S&P 500. So that's something that we've been talking about on this channel. Piper talks about it all the time. That when the interest rate cuts start happening, it's not as bullish as you think it is, right? Traditionally speaking, there could be a pullback. You got to understand that there's a cause and effect going on here. So it's one thing to just kind of keep an eye on, take note of it. History has a tendency to repeat itself. So just be careful there. So that's what we're looking at in there. Let's go ahead and get over to the market pulse here. And the first thing we got up is going to be the economic calendar. Okay. So let's see if that actually, for some reason that is not working, but at least you guys can see it. So unfortunately, it looks like the title things, man, we are just crazy jacked up today, but that's all right, man. We're going to work through it. So looking, what's big? Tomorrow, you got retail sales month over month, but then Wednesday is going to be a biggie, right? So building permits, cool. Fed interest rate decision and FOMC economic projections, Fed press conference, that's all going on Wednesday. So buckle up. It's about to get weird and expect some volatility incoming. So that is that. Let's go ahead and get over to the crypto fear and greed index. We are sitting at 33, which is fear. Total market cap is $2.1 trillion. That's down 1%. So, not so great there, but we are still holding over that 2 trillion mark, which is a good thing. 24-hour trading volume is at 80.6 billion. And that is actually up 44.9%. But is that good volume or bad volume, right? Because it seems like the market's actually pulling back. So understand that buying and selling, that's both volume. So just understand that it could be pulling back a little bit. And that's why you're seeing this big number right before we're getting a big decision here. Bitcoin dominance is at 54.5%, which is down 0.24%. I do believe it did have a little push up to the upside here recently in the last couple of days. So for it to pull back a little bit is not overly surprising for me. All right, over to the crypto bubbles. And it's a sea of red. Let's see, is there anything green on here? You got a Phantom, that's up 2.8%. XRP is up 2.1%, but that's on the heels of some bullish news, right? They had that, the grayscale, they're talking about ETFs with the XRP. So that's not super surprising, but again, where is it still sitting? It's sitting in that range of about 50 to 60 cents, man. I feel like we've been stuck there for ages at this point. Let's see who's getting hit here hard. CKB, not as familiar with them. Nervous Network, they're down to 8.6%. SEI is down 9.2%. Beam is down 8.2%. But other than that, everyone else, it seems to be, generally 3 to 5%. Nothing too crazy. Let's go down and look at some of your larger market cap coins. Bitcoin is sitting at $57,908, and that is up 1.8% on the week, but is actually down 1.3% on the day. Ethereum is currently sitting at 2,283. Wow, that was just at like 24. That is down 2.5% on the week and down 0.9% on the day. Let's see who we got. Solana, we always like to talk about them. They've pulled back a little bit as well. They're down at 131, and that is down, that is down 1.8% on the weekly, but it's actually up 0.12% on the day. XRP, that's up 2.1% of the day, and is actually up 8.4% on the weekly. Toncoin staying strong there at number 9. Look, the market cap is up over 13 billion again. That's something we've been watching. It is down 1.7% on the day and up 4.8% on the week. Dogecoin actually taking a little bit of a hit as well. Tron, let's look at Tron. There, it's sitting at top 10 there, and they are at about 14.9 cents, and they are up 0.36% on the day and down 3.1% on the week. Cardano still taking a hit. They are down below 33 cents again. AVAX is down below 24 again. So there you go. That about wraps up some of the larger to mid-cap coins. Let's go over to the liquidation heat map. We like to look at that one. Liquidity, honestly, is actually sitting to the top side. However, the trend is not going in that direction. Remember, that's part of this, right? Part of what you want to see is the trend going into that liquidity. The trend is actually down and right now. So we probably have to zoom out a little bit and look for some more liquidity. Well, guess what? I did that. There's not a lot down there. So that's very, very interesting. It seems like people have kind of gotten beat out of their long positions. So it's really hard to say that liquidity is actually driving this price action. I really think this is more like economics and what is going on with our economy right now that's driving the price action, not actually liquidity, because everything is not status quo outside of the crypto world right now. We got more to think about, and that influences price action as well, and that's why we talk about it here on this channel. And a little pitch for our morning show: Piper does a really, really good job at discussing those things, and he'll break it down for you. And then that's his thing, man. He's really, really good at that, and that's something that this channel really provides for you guys. Over to the chat real quick. Just want to give a little shout out. It said, "Oh snap! Breaking news." Let's go ahead and let's see if I can actually take a look. See, that's coming from Piper. Spaces with the @real Donald Trump tonight. That's going to go at 8 p.m. Eastern. So that should already be going. Thanks, Piper. Way to reroute people from our show. That's terrible. All right, Alex O, my man, member for 7 months. I guess I'll have one up on you. I love you all. Oh, there you go. I see what he did there. Thank you, man. I appreciate you. Alex O, definitely a friend of the channel. If you guys aren't checking him out, you should do that. Let me go ahead and pull up his page real quick. So what do you got, man? FD, I'd like to hear what you got, what you're thinking, about, what's going on here with price action, and then, what's driving that price action right now. And I'm going to go ahead and pull up Alex O's channel and give him a quick little shill.
Yeah, like you said, man, it's just so much uncertainty right now. And then like this is a macro problem. This is not really a crypto problem. Like crypto has been doing pretty good. We're still like around 58, 59, 60K, and everything else around the economy is what the uncertainty is coming from. So we're just trying to figure it out, man. If you could share my screen, I got a tweet from my guy Forrest, man. He just put this tweet out not too long ago. I want to share this with the alumni, man. So he said, Mac Forrest, if you're not following Forrest, Sistine Research, make sure you go over and follow him. He usually has a lot of good alpha. One of the guys I really like to deal with during the bear market. So he said, Max Payne, in his opinion, inflation comes back for round two after a few rate cuts. Risk assets go higher, home prices higher as rates decrease. Working class has no extra income to take advantage of the risk asset soaring. Wages don't keep up with inflation. Sideline bears miss huge gain. Wealth gap widens, and then backbreaker recession, the one everybody's been calling for the last 2, 3, 4 years, comes later than everyone anticipated. So this is definitely one of my things that I can see happening. Like we're all like looking for something to happen in 2025. Think it might get kicked down the road a little bit longer. I really do. Like unless if you look at the M2 money supply, I think that's starting to go back up. Nobody's really talking about that. Then we have like the rate cuts. We do see that rate cuts, in the past have caused like, that's like the top of the market. But I think during election years, it was a little bit different. I have to do that, do a little bit more research and bring it back to the community tomorrow. But this is definitely something that I'm keeping on my radar. When everybody's starting to turn a little bit bearish, you know, I don't. It's so much uncertainty, man. To sit here and to come and sit here and tell you what I think is going to happen. I would be lying to you, and I definitely don't want to do that. So I'm just I'm gonna be a reactive investor. I'm gonna be a reactive investor. Of course, I'm trying to accumulate Bitcoin, like I say, for the long haul. But everything else, I'm reactive to it. So that's. I just wanted to bring that up. And if you're not following Forrest, make sure you go over there and follow my guy Forrest.
Right on. Yeah, I'm just kind of looking through that a little bit. I will say one thing. It seems like home prices are actually pulling back. But I do agree. Yeah, wages not really keeping pace with inflation. And like even there was like a wage increase, right? Because the inflation was so high, a lot of people were pushing back. And there was some companies, I know Northrop Grumman was one of them, that actually gave, everyone a wage increase just to try to kind of keep up with inflation. However, if you really look at where inflation has been, I mean, you're looking at the grocery store, 30 probably percent on average, we'll say. So there's nothing, they can really do to keep up with inflation. Insurance is up. I mean, vehicle prices are up. And I mean, home prices are still up as well. even though I think they're starting to pull back now. So yeah, it's been tough sledding. It's tough sledding for a lot of people. A lot of people are very much paycheck to paycheck. Let's see here. Alex O said, hit me up. Maybe we'll jump on tomorrow if you like, bro. Yeah, come on. Let's do it. I'm game for that. And what did A to A say? He said something. Oh, it's the outtakes episode. Yeah, man. It's a Monday for sure. It is a Monday for sure. Let me go ahead and push you guys over to Alex O's. Let's see if this pops up real quick here because nothing is cooperating. Because why would it? Why would it? You know what? I'll do it on the technicals. It's just funny. Like even my stream deck right now is just going wonky. This is a lot of fun. All right, so Alex O Crypto, go check him out. This is his page right here. You can find him. Let's see, what is it? At Alex O Crypto. Easy enough. There you go. So it sounds like he wants to come on tomorrow, so that'll be cool. I'll get the trio cam all set up and ready to go. Let's see. Let's just go ahead and get over to some technicals. Yeah, I think we've been on the struggle bus enough here. You know, why not? Let's just go look at some technicals. We should be able to do that, right? All right. Over to the technicals. All right, looking at Bitcoin. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to kind of zoom out a little bit. One of the big things we talked about is this channel. Not going to rehash that too much. Still finding support over that. We really haven't gotten a close on the weekly underneath of it. So, you know, it's still good. Still in play. It looks like I actually pushed it up a little bit. So, but that being said, it's still acting as support. We're still on top of it right now, but you can see the price action is really starting to definitely move down and right. So I don't like that. What you're seeing on the weekly is more of kind of like a descending triangle, right? So if you're looking at the price action and then you kind of have this horizontal level here, you keep seeing wicks off of it. So that's putting pressure to the downside. So not a big fan of that. In conjunction with some of the news we're getting with the economics, the macro perspective, that has an influence, right? That has a vote as well. So that I don't, you know, got to be careful. Definitely got to be careful. One thing I do want to look at this on is the Heikinashi. So I've pointed this out to you guys before. You want to take a very conservative, easy play on Bitcoin. Like if you want to just swing trade it and in a very like large, like zoomed out perspective, just look at the Heikinashi on the weekly and literally like this, it'll be hard to kind of keep up with, but whenever it flips colors, like if you were to just play this game where like, okay, it flips, it's bearish. All right, even here, you'll lose this trade. You won this one, you'll lose this. You'll win this one, you'll lose. You'll win this big. So you'll lose this one right here, but you'll win this one big. So like there's going to be like probably like a 60, I'll say 50 to 60% hit rate. But when you win, you win. And like same thing here. When you have these big run-ups on the weekly, you win big. Like just to show you kind of a move here. And I'll take the bottom side of that. That's a 50% move. So that pretty much erases any of the losses that you had here on the smaller ones when you're flip-flopping back and forth between colors. Just something to share with you. It's something you do. So that was a 50% run up. Then he had another move right here. That's a 50% run up. So that's 100% right there. You could have took a vacation for the rest of the year. But let's see, what were these ones right here? I mean, this was a 50%. I know that's what, 16%. You know, so it's an idea. It's a trading strategy. Obviously, do your own research. Go ahead, go back and back test it. I did actually do that on one of the shows one time. Is I went back and back tested this, and I took it like at a point where like I started it off with a loss just to try to make it as fair as I could. Even with starting it off with a loss, it still was up over 100% just using that alone. So there's something for you. Let's go ahead and look at Bitcoin on the daily. Gonna have to take it off the Heikinashi now. Put it back on the candles here. All right. So yeah, you're seeing kind of a falling channel, maybe falling wedge. It looks like it's getting a squeeze on here. That's actually done for you by Chart Prime. So that's on the Market Dynamics Pro. A little pitch there for you guys. It'll put these patterns on there, and it'll show you the breakout, and it'll give you a smart target. So it makes it super easy for you. You can see here, this is my trend line showing kind of some down and right pressure. We talked about that a little bit. So hasn't really changed. You do have a good area of support. It looks like at about 52.8. And that coincides with the range here, this previous range on the left here, the top side of that. You can see a lot of resistance before we actually exploded through it, but it is now support, right? So we flipped what was resistance into support. We need that to hold, to be honest with you. So keep an eye on that. That's definitely an area. One of the things that we talked about as well is the 60K range, okay? There's a lot of resistance up there. You have the dynamic reactor on the daily. And there's, I believe, on the 4 hour, there's some moving averages there as well. I took most of them off. I just have the 200, but there's just a lot of confluence with resistance around 60K. And so that's what I was kind of looking for. Remember on Friday, I was like, hey, I'm looking for a move to 60K. All right. I saw the pressure building up. You got, a little hit of bullish divergence. You can have uptrends within a larger downtrend. That's possible. And that's kind of what I was looking at. I probably didn't articulate that as well, but I was giving you my reasoning for why I thought we could see some upside movement. But 60K was kind of my line in the sand, if you remember. So around 60K, 60,500, that clears out the liquidity because that was sitting just under 60K, if you remember. But now it's just nothing but resistance right here. So looking at this now, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised with a little bit, more of a pullback to kind of retest this area about 56.5 or so. I think we're going to retest that. And then I would look for some price action there. Coming down to the oscillator on the daily, looks like it's bending over in a negative direction. Let's go over to the 4 hour and see what we got there. So yeah, look at this. So this is what I'm kind of talking about with Chart Prime. That's pretty cool, right? It gives you the pattern. All right, so you have a channel that's going up and right, and this is on the 4 hour. Gives you the breakout, right? Tells you pattern break with the green dot here. It breaks out, and then it gives you a smart target. And I think this smart target is actually very achievable because that aligns with where there is an area of support. All right, and that's one thing that I always look at when I'm looking for these pattern breakouts. And when it gives you a smart target, I want to see an area of support that there's confluence with, right? And a lot of times, you'll see that the area of support or resistance, it might be within that smart target. And so that's where I'll play. Okay, so right now the smart target is actually above. So I would just play the smart target, like 56.6. I think is very much in play. Now, if you're coming down to the oscillator, it has had an opportunity to reset a little bit. So you could see that there is now, it's calling for a little bit of a market reversal. You can see that I believe this one is the cash flow here. That's it's starting to level out a little bit. So it had an uptick, and now it's starting to level out. It could actually bend over there. So you got the dynamic reactor on the top side as well, and it looks like you got a real retest of that dynamic reactor. So that's really important. Look at the dynamic reactor and see how it influences price action. You can see it's rejected off of that. So yeah, I think this is in play. I would say in the short term, it's not a big move. So it's, about $1,000, but I think 56.6 makes a lot of sense for me for multiple reasons. And then again, even on the 4 hour, you're showing a lot of resistance to the top side of price action. So it's going to be hard. It's going to be a hard move for Bitcoin. What can change all of this? In 2 days. In 2 days, when they come out with their decision on whether they're going to reduce the rates or not, as well as, there's a lot of important discussions that are going to happen, and just keep an eye on that. So you could probably see some volatility, and then a lot of this goes out of the window because you get news-based movements, and that's why FD just said, hey, I'm probably going to chill, and I'm not going to really play this because you can get some real volatility that can get you in a bad way, especially if you're doing high leverage and you're trying to use stop losses. I just wouldn't recommend it on days like that specifically. All right. Let's see here. Let's go over the chat, man. That's kind of what I'm looking at on Bitcoin here. Let's see the chat.
Yeah, the chat is the comedy house today, man. I'm just sitting here laughing while you Piper is hilarious, man. Piper, Mark,
who's licking like buttons?
BC Port, yeah, licking the like button, and
what are you guys doing?
Whatever it's gonna take to get that button pushed, if you want to lick it, go ahead. As long as it converts to a like. Be my guest.
All right. Let's see. That community is definitely a target-rich environment. Seth Shepard. Looks like he subbed. You subbed to Alex O. Appreciate you, man. He's family. Let's see what else we got in here. I'm trying to go through the chat,
Yeah,
read
man.
it a
I
little
think
bit.
so, but to piggyback off what you were saying, TradeFly, man. Yeah, right now, no matter if we got, if we didn't have any type of economic data coming out, right now, this environment is not the time for high leverage unless you're in and out. Like if you like Alex O, he does a good job of using high leverage, and then but a lot of times he has pinpoint entries that he goes in. So back to talking about him, I think BC Port Core Lunar Beaches had an amazing trade last week. LBC, shout out to
Hmm.
LBC. I think he was like 150x from like 55 or
Y'all
something
crazy.
like that. Like
Y'all crazy.
so shout out to them, man. It's if you're experienced like them, then you know how to manage it. You probably gonna have to swing a couple times before you catch one, but if you're just putting your whole bag in 100x long in these conditions, then you might get wrecked quick because you only got to move like a percent or so for you to get liquidated. So just be careful or sit it out. I'm gonna sit it out Wednesday, but going into Wednesday tomorrow, and then after the FOMC press conference, I'll see what type of direction, because usually that first direction is the wrong direction,
Yep,
and then we'll see how the market plays out the rest of the week going into the
for sure.
weekend. So usually Thursday we'll get our move, our real direction, and then I'll trade it till Saturday. And then Sunday we'll probably get some type of new direction like we did this week. So it's just one of them things you just got to be in tune to the market.
Right on, right on. Let's see. Yeah, so one thing that I'm always curious about, man, people will go in with those crazy like leverage positions, like 100x, and they're always posting their percentages and stuff like that. But like, how much capital are they putting into that? Is this a $5 trade? Is this a
So
$20 trade?
so but you know what? Leverage, man. A lot of people use leverage wrong. Like a lot of people use leverage. It's a way that you can use the leverage in order to I think who was explaining it? I know Alex explained it once. I think it was I can't remember. Somebody who always uses high leverage. Might have been Jason Casper. He had a good video about how to really use leverage. And it's a way that, you use leverage in order to risk, you still risking the same percentage, but you're putting up less money. So I have
Yeah,
to look at it
yeah,
again to explain it a little bit better. But it's a ways that if you catch these moves, you can, and if the moves don't look back, then you're all set. But you really have to know how to trade to do that, or you're just gambling.
yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Yeah, I'm always curious, man, because a lot of people use those crazy leverages. I'm like, I probably wouldn't use more than $100 if I'm using anything crazy. Like, because like it's kind of still gambling, right? Because it only takes a quick wick. I don't know if I mean I know you remember, but back in the day, like probably a few years ago or a couple years ago, man, those wicks were gnarly, man. You were getting like 10K moves in a day. Like wicks were just like for no reason I mean, you'll see an uptrend, all of a sudden it's like wick down and then comes right back up, and then it bounces like $2,000. And you're like, what the hell just happened? Like, it was wild. It was wild, man.
So even if you're putting up 25, let's say you put up $25, 100x leverage, you get liquidated a couple times, but you catch one, like
Yeah,
you'd have made your money back and more. So
yeah, no,
it just depends on your strategy, really.
yeah, it makes sense. Caffeinated Crypto, what's up, my guy? Appreciate you. Thank you very much for the Piper Academy membership. And guess who it went to? I love seeing this. Wick's wife, Fine 89. So come on over to the Discord if you're not already over there. Hope you are. But again, Caffeinated Crypto, my G, thank you very much. We appreciate you. Let's go ahead and look at some Soul. Do you want to do an ETA or you want me to just roll with it?
Man, my throat is hurting,
All
man.
right, I got
So I
you.
ain't gonna lie.
I got you. All good. Let's go over to Soul. We've been talking about that quite a bit recently. I am on the 4 hour currently. So check this out. Just what we were talking about. And I think I want to say I talked about this. Anyways, I think I did talk about it at some point. I just can't remember when. But look at this. So here it is. Here's your chart prime continuation of Shill. All right. So it gave you the pattern. All right. You had a channel. And if you guys need the settings, I can get you those as well. Just let me know. You had the pattern break, right? Gives you a green dot. Tells you pattern break, gives you a smart target. And look, that smart target, actually, I do remember talking about this because I said I would get out at the dynamic reactor. I wouldn't wait for the smart target. Well, I was wrong. Not by much, but yeah, I was wrong. It went up to the smart target. That's why you see this green dash line. It's telling you that it hit it. And then it actually found resistance on the 200 SMA for the 4 hour chart. All right. So then you have this trend line here. You can see there's kind of down and right pressure as well. But yeah, that was kind of what that was my exit right there. Dynamic reactor. Uh, Actually went up smart target. So that's cool. It's cool to see. Your bigger area to kind of look at though is 144. That's your point of control for this entire range that we've been in for months upon months. I think it's all the way back to March, if I remember correctly. So we've been in this range for a really, really long time. Not surprised to see some pullbacks. But I will say one thing. If you get an opportunity here at about 121, not financial advice, but I'll let you know your boy is probably going to jump on that unless the economy gets super weird. Like if we're just like, oh, it's doom and gloom, then I may not. But if everything is just kind of normal, say, and price pulls back to 121, I'm probably going to jump on that. And I don't know how far I'm going to try to play it. But the thing is, you're starting to build, a very clear pattern. It is descending. All right. It does kind of look like, if you were to zoom out a little bit of a descending triangle here as well. Again, pressure to the downside, but there's no harm in trying to play that range either. So I'll probably be looking for that in the near future. If we do move up to this area, then yeah, I'm going to be looking for resistance, right? Because it's pretty clear. You have the dynamic reactor, 200. You got a trend line here, all to the top side of price action on the 4-hour. Might be an opportunity if we get a reset with the oscillator that we could see that bend over as well. In conjunction with maybe some downtrending economic news, might be primo for a short. So, and then you play it down to 121, and that would be an exit. So, again, not financial advice, but that's something I'd be looking at on Solana. Those are a couple key areas for you. If we do break through all of that, though, high side target, I've talked about this, is 162, and that's just very, very clear level horizontal resistance right now. So, if it does break, 162 is going to be a high side target. 144, you're going to see some interaction with price action, just based on that being the point of control. You'll probably see an initial rejection, would be my guess. But what I would like to see is it get over top, retest, and then we'll look for that continuation up and right. So that is Sol on the 4-hour. Let's just zoom out real quick, look at the daily. Let's not get too sucked into the 4-hour here and see what we're looking at here. Yeah, so you're seeing a falling wedge with chart prime as well, kind of lines up with my trend line that I'm looking at. And then, yeah, so I wouldn't say there's anything too different here. You do have, it looks like, a pattern break. So it's actually looking for smart target really where the 200 SMA is on the daily. If you zoom in on that a little bit, I don't know if this one will play out because it has gotten back into the pattern. It has not actually invalidated yet. So you'll see it, it'll change colors there when it invalidates. But that's definitely a potential here for this pattern specifically. But hey, you never know. We'll see. We'll see if chart prime is for the win again. But that one, I would keep it more. Yeah, I probably wouldn't play this one, to be honest with you. I don't like it. Too much resistance there. So, all right, cool. That's what I'm looking at for Solana. Let's come over back to the chat here. Let's see what we got here. Let's see. You guys are just the
Shout out
algorithmic
to
smart
BC
target
Corp,
is a
man.
beast. What's up?
He said BC Corp said he's headed to bed, man. He got to get up and work out before the stream, man. Shout out to BC Corp,
So
man.
they get up early. They get up early.
Yeah. Respect. That's early. I'm up early too, but my brain don't kick on till about 8:45, man. So that's an early stream for me.
Hold up. My boy's in here. Yo. My boy's all right. This is like one of my best friends, like in life. All right. So high school, we were inseparable. So Brad Green, what's up, my G? How you doing, man? Good to see you in the chat. Loving
B
that.
Jizzle,
Yeah.
BG. That's what you call him.
That's my dude. That's my dude, man.
Shout out to Brad Green, man.
Yeah, nah, he's good peoples.
Good.
So
If you
he's
good with
actually
TradeFly, you good with me, man.
Yeah. All right, there it is. FD. Oh, I just thought about something. Yo, we're going on a cruise. I think it's like March next year. Piper's going.
Okay. Where are you going?
Down south. We're gonna leave out of Florida. I can't remember exactly. It's some of the islands down there. It's a quick one, like 5 days, 4 nights or something.
Oh, okay, yeah, that sounds good, man. Last cruise I was on, I didn't want to get off, man. I had about 18 hamburgers in like 3 days. Not gonna lie, they were so good. Dude, it was just so good, man. It was Carnival Cruise. It was amazing.
When I was younger, I went on when I was on my drinking kick. Dude, I spent like $500. I dropped on just straight alcohol when I was there. It was dicey. I was getting refills of pictures of Long Island. It,
It's fun, man. I ain't
yeah,
gonna. I was scared to be on the water, but then when I was on there, it was amazing, man. It was. I would definitely I will look into it because I loved my last one, so I definitely look into it.
yeah, that'd be cool, man. That'd be a lot of fun. Get like I said, Piper's gonna be there. A bunch of my buddies from like high school and college, so it should be a good time, man. I'll get you the details. Get you the details. That'd be cool. All right. I think we're about to wrap this one up. I apologize again for all the audio issues. Hopefully, we can work those out after the stream, and then tomorrow will be nice and clean. I thought I had it worked out this weekend. I did a lot of troubleshooting and all that, and I thought it was all good, and then it just went to pooty. But that being said, hey, thank you guys for sticking around. Hope you enjoyed the show. If you did enjoy the show, please give us a like and subscribe. We would truly, truly appreciate that. We are growing here. Numbers are actually getting pretty good. So that being said, we're gonna get out. FD, you got anything for the people on the way out of here?
Yeah, man. I'm gonna drink my tea. Hopefully, we can be back tomorrow. The morning show we got the 7 a.m. I think is it 7 or 7:30. I think it's 7:30 a.m. With BC Port Corp and LBC. 9:30 we got the morning show with Piper, OC, TradeFly. I'm not sure if you're gonna be there tomorrow. 4 p.m. we got me and Piper back at it with the Trading Academy, and then we'll wrap it up again with the Crypto Nightcap tomorrow 8:30. So we got a full plate tomorrow and all this week. But 9:30, I told my guy Bill Noble, he's about to have a live stream at 9:30. So if you're still up, head over to Bill Noble's channel right now about 9:30. Rather, he had a stream, coming up. So Bill always loves to entertain. So he's a good analyst. If you've seen him on our channel or if you know him, make sure you go over there and watch his stream 9:30. So in about 5 minutes.
Hell yeah. So Lunar said they're on at 6:30 Eastern. So man, that's early. They'll be
So I'm just rolling out of bed at 6:30. So
that's
ooh, that's
3:30
that's
my
early.
time, man. That's but I catch it in between shifts when I'm flying. I try to get on there
Yeah,
real quick.
yeah.
Check it
I
out.
always rewatch it though. Yeah, they got some good alpha over there, man. Shout out to them guys, man.
Yeah, he's
Six
doing good.
thirty.
He's doing good.
If you up, you know what to turn to.
That's it. That's it. And then Piper said he's gonna be on Crypto Blood, his show tomorrow. So that's cool. I actually stopped by Crypto Blood show today as well to say what's up. So cool. All right, we're gonna get out of here. Thank you guys for tuning in. Obviously the music is not gonna work all that well. I'll play it. Hopefully I can figure it out. But you guys have a great evening, and we will see you again tomorrow. Trade safe. We're out.